Good morning. We call the Board of Public Works and Safety meeting to order for February 21st, 2018. Today we have present myself, Nikel Winfrey, President, Salita Green, Vice President, Clotilde LaVoy, our Secretary, is absent, and Ms. Raven Reedus is here on behalf of the Public Works Department. We'll first start with bids and proposals to be received for the Fire Department regarding ambulance bid. Are there any bids or proposals from the audience today that were not previously submitted to the department for the Fire Department ambulance bid? Second call, any bids or proposals from the audience today? Third and final call, are there any bids or proposals from the audience to be received that were not previously submitted? I'm seeing them and have a motion to close bids received and to open.
I move that we close bids to be received for the ambulance bid for the EMS department and to open those bids that have been received.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
This bid is from Horton Emergency Vehicles, located in Grove City, Ohio. The cost for the vehicle as specified is as follows. 2018 all-aluminum Ford F-550 4x4 ambulance in excess of the bid specification, $191,975 each, or $383,950 for two vehicles. FOB Gary, Indiana. Again, the amount of the bid is $191,975 each, or $383,950 for two vehicles.
What was the two vehicles?
$383,950.
383, 915,
$950.
50.
The company for this bid is Excellence Incorporated, Madison, Alabama. In accordance with plans and specifications prepared by Excellence Indiana, the bid amount is $201,261.56, or $402,523.12 for two. Again, the bid amount is $201,261.56 each, or $402,523.12 for two. Madam President, I move that we refer the bids to the Fire Department for recommendation.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we have claims.
We have ratification of claims for February 9th, 2018. Motor Vehicle Highway, $62,474.70. I move that we approve the claims for MVH for February 9th.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
We have ratification of claims for February 13th, 2018. General Fund is $182.50. I move that we ratify the claim for General Fund.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
We have approval of claims for February 23rd, 2018. General Fund is $221,545.77. Special Revenues, $189,719.07. The Genesis and Operating is $4,272.96. Redevelopment, $8,000. Insurance, $17,793.68. The lead grant, $1,440. Healthy Start, $1,574.24. Total claims to be paid, $444,345.72. I move that we approve claims for February 23rd.
Second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
We have ratification of claims for February 16, 2018. General fund is $99,920.23. Special revenues, $153,982.06. Home program, $7,008. The Genesis and operating fund is $4,465. Blight elimination grant is $611. LDA casino is $2,000. And total claims paid is $267,986.29. I move that we approve claims for February 16, 2018.
Second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
That concludes claims.
Next, we have correspondence and agreements. Correspondence from the police department. I'm sorry, someone from,
I'm sorry. Payroll. We have one more. Payroll.
thank you.
Ratification of payroll February 16, 2018. It's $1,588,897.57. I move that we ratify payroll for February 16, 2018.
Thank you. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Now we'll move on to correspondence and agreements. Correspondence from the police department.
This memo is to Marinetta Barber, Director of Human Resources, from Richard Allen Sr., Chief of Police. Please be advised on Thursday, February 15, 2018, the Chief of Police, Gary Police Department, terminated the employment of probationary officer Jose for violating standard operating procedures entitled Code of Conduct, Moral Conduct, Truthfulness, Performance of Duty, and Conduct Unbecoming to an Officer. As an officer within the probationary stage, the Gary Police Department may exercise complete discretion as to whether the officer will serve as a Gary police officer. It was determined that probationary officer Jose services were no longer essential effective as of February 15, 2018. I move that we approve the termination of employment for probationary officer Jose.
Second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have correspondence from the Gary Common Council.
This memo is to the Board of Public Works and Safety from Ronald Brewer, President, Gary Common Council. The Gary Common Council is submitting the attached contract for Chappers Upholstery for additional services provided to repair and update council bench seats, chairs, and the council chambers. The total amount of the additional services provided is not to exceed $1,320 for customized leather flaps for 9 high-back chairs to include imprint of city seal logos, cleaning and touch-up work on bench seats as needed, and add detail to all bench seats. The vendor completed services on December 18, 2017. We do have a funding source to show that the department for the Common Council does have the appropriations of $1320. I move that we approve the contract for additional work to be done for the council bench seats and chairs of $1,320.
Second. Any questions?
Yes, do we know if this exceeded or not the 20% increase?
Is it in? Do we have a memo from the law department?
There's one indicated that they drafted and updated the contract, but there's nothing else.
Because we've had, I think, 3 different.
I don't think
I think this
I'm
is
not
for
sure.
additional services. This is something different. These are for the high back chairs, not for the benches. The other.
It's additional services for the original contract with Chappers Upholstery.
looks like it's an entirely new contract.
Right, that's what it looks like, but we did approve a contract with Chappell's Upholstery to upholster the benches. And they're asking for additional work.
Right. I believe that even though it's saying additional services, this is a new contract.
So it should not be additional, it should just be a new contract.
Right. Additional in the sense that this is a second contract for the same vendor. But not additional, not amending the original contract because this is a separate contract.
Okay, because if that was the case, we didn't need a contract.
Right, we would have just needed an amendment to the
With
original.
just the quotes. Because our procurement procedure is that from 1,000 to 5,000, we need 3 quotes. It doesn't have to have a contract. That's why it's confusing. But it's okay, it just didn't need a
Yeah, I
contract.
think
It was
normally
confusing.
they probably just ask for a contract and we just,
Okay,
no matter the amount, we just do one, as a matter of course, if they want a contract.
okay.
All right. You made your motion.
I did.
Okay. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we have correspondence from the mayor's office.
This memo is to the Board of Public Works and Safety from the Kel Allen Winfrey Corporation Council regarding mutual non-closure agreement. The Law Department has reviewed the attached mutual non-disclosure agreement between the City of Gary and United States Steel Corporation. It is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the City of Gary.
So I think that would be, because it is a non-disclosure agreement, then I would just only read the title page of it. I mean, you can read the first paragraph, but I wouldn't, because the point of it is non-disclosure.
Confidentiality?
Yes.
Okay. And that's what I'm just gonna point out those
Yeah.
areas. Whereas,
It's the same thing, so this one got the information.
the mutual non-disclosure agreement, this agreement is made on the 20th day of February 2018 by and between the City of Gary Political Subdivision of the State of Indiana with an address of 401 Broadway, Gary, Indiana, 46402, and United States Steel Corporation, Delaware Corporation with an address of 600 Grant Street, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15219. Under witnesses, the city and USX are considering entering into one or economic development arrangements, and this agreement consists of confidential information, non-use of non-disclosure information, notice of breach, between the City of Gary and United States Steel. I move that we approve the mutual non-disclosure agreement.
Second, any questions? And essentially, it's just a document that allows the city to have conversations with the other party and to hold confidential information that's confidential to their business.
For economic development?
Yes, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Next, we have, we're still under correspondence from the mayor's office. The local agreement.
This memo is to the Board of Public Works and Safety from the Kel Allen Winfrey Corporation Council, local agreement between the City of Gary and Majestic Star Casino. The Law Department has reviewed the attached local agreement between the City of Gary and Majestic Star Casino. It is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the City of Gary. The City of Majestic 1 entered into certain development agreements dated as of March 26, 1996. The City of Trump, as a predecessor, and interest in Majestic 2 entered into the certain development agreement dated May 1st, 1996. The City, Majestic 1, Trump, Indiana, entered into a certain amendment number 1 to the development agreement in October 19, 2005. The old development agreement, and the city, the company, and the GRC, along with certain other parties whose interests have since been mooted, entered into a certain term sheet dated March 11, 2011. The city and the company desire to set forth in this agreement their mutual rights and obligations going forward on the matters addressed herein, entirely superseding and replacing any and all prior agreements by or among the city, the company, and the GRC, and any of their predecessors, including the 2011 term sheet, amended term sheet, and the old development agreements. This contract includes the effective date conditions in Article 2, the effective date of conditions and company effective date conditions, presentations, warrants, and covenants, termination waivers and releases, and is the termination of old development agreements and the 2011 term sheet, the AGR commitment payments, except as otherwise provided in this agreement, and subject of the provisions herein, commencing on the 10th day of the first full calendar year after the effective date and continuing on the 10th calendar day of each month thereafter. This agreement remains in full force and effect, and the company shall pay the city an amount equal to 3% of the adjusted gross receipts for each of Majestic's 1 and 2 boats, provided, however, that in no event should the combined total of the AGR commitment of the company in any calendar year be less than $6 million. This agreement covers other sections such as transfer of gaming license in future, company development, acknowledgement of fulfillment of obligations. I move that we approve a new local agreement between the City of Gary and Majestic Star Casino.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Next, we have correspondence from the IT department.
The Law Department has reviewed the enclosed contract with Great Lakes Cartridges to perform maintenance on copies for the City of Gary. The terms of the contract are from March 1st, 2018 to February 28, 2019. Contractors shall be paid an amount not to exceed $29,376 for the scope of work. The contract is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the City of Gary. Scope of services includes contract agrees to maintain the City of Gary copiers in good operating condition and furnish maintenance services during the contracted period as described in Exhibit 3. Attached is the Great Lakes Cartridges Maintenance Agreement. And that is considered to be Exhibit 3. I move that we approve the contract with Great Lakes Cartridges.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Next, we have correspondence from the health department.
That should be, human resources, yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's a typo. It says the health department should be human resources department.
This memo is to the Board of Public Works and Safety from Marinetta Barber, Director of Human Resources. Contract renewal for Cigna Behavioral Health. The attached contract is with Cigna Behavioral Health Incorporated to provide services for Employee Assistance Program, the EAP program, including work-life support for City of Gary employees. The contract is not to exceed $30,000 and will be for the period of January 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2018. We also have a memo from Stephen Jenkins, Assistant City Attorney. The Law Department has reviewed the enclosed contract with Cigna Behavioral Health. The Employee Assistance Program, which includes administrative, clinical, and online clinical services for the city. The terms of the contract are from January 1st to December 31st, 2018. I have attached the contract form and its exhibit since it goes into more detail and their obligation under the agreement. Contractor shall be paid an amount not to exceed $30,000. The contract reads, whereas the city wishes to provide an EAP program which includes clinical services described herein to its employees, their dependents, and members of their households who are the participants and who do not reside in California or Nevada. The clinical services components of the EAP program for participants who reside in California or Nevada are covered under the short-term counseling policies issued to city by Cigna Health and Life Insurance Company. All other EAP services for such participants are covered under the terms of this agreement. I move that we approve the agreement between the City of Gary and the Human Resource Department for Cigna Behavioral Health.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All motion carries. Next, we have correspondence from the Finance Department. There was a note on his correspondence from the Law Department, but that was a duplication that was handled under correspondence from the Mayor's office.
Okay, so this is not from the Finance Department.
I'm sorry?
This is not from the Finance Department.
Okay. Do you know, let's see, who is it from? Let's look. Did environmental send that?
Yeah, it's probably green urbanism. I thought we approved this before. Yeah, I think we approved two things for green urbanism. One was a supplement. One was a grant and then one was a supplement. Do you want to defer this one? Because I think it's both.
We can defer it.
Yeah, it's green urbanism. Okay, Madam Chair, I move that we defer the approval of the Indiana Finance Authority Supplemental Environmental Project Assistance Agreement.
Okay. Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
From the Finance Department, rescind contract for eCivis. I move that we rescind the contract that was approved for eCivis.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And we have before a new contract for eCivis. The previous contract was based on a proposal. The Law Department has reviewed the enclosed contract with eCivis for grant management software for the Finance Department's various grant-based activities. The previous contract was approved before we received the service agreement for eCivis. Both parties seem to want to rescind the previous contract, so I've added language on the first page to reflect both parties' desire to rescind the contract. It will require a notice of 30 days. The terms of the contract is from February 12, 2018 to February 11, 2019. Contractors shall be paid an amount not to exceed $33,120. Scope of services, the contract agrees to install software that would create and track projects needing funding, search relevant grant opportunities, create grant approval workflows, build narrative and grant budgets, save all grant files in one area for audit, and provide monthly federal legislation updates as outlined. The compensation for this contract is $33,120. The Grants Network software program licenses, there are 15 licenses for $32,250. The migration fee is $4,500. There is a discount of $3,630 for the total amount of the $33,120. I move that we approve the contract for eCivis.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have correspondence from the Health Department.
This memo is from the Law Department, Stephen Jenkins, Assistant City Attorney. The Law Department has reviewed the enclosed contract with Mary Ellen Costello to serve as the immunization outreach specialist for the Gary Health Department. The terms of the contract is from January 1, 2018 to June 30, 2018. Contractor shall be paid an amount not to exceed $4,500 plus reimbursement for pre-approved grant-related travel expenses. Said approval shall include a detailed description of the purpose of the travel and a detailed travel budget. All approvals must be pre-approved by the director. This contract is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the city of Gary. I move that we approve the contract between the City of Gary Health Department and Mary Ellen Costello.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, we have approval of amendment to extend office lease. The Law Department has drafted the attached amendment to the office lease between the City of Gary Health Department and the Northwest Indiana Tobacco Prevention and Cessation Program through its Northwest Indiana Health Department Cooperative. The office lease is being extended from additional 90 days from July 1st, 2017 to September 30, 2017. Monthly lease payments are $700 per month. The cost to extend the lease is $2,100. The amendment is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the City of Gary. There's also a letter from Cynthia Sampson, the Director of the Tobacco Prevention Program. We are submitting information in regards to the lease agreement with the Gary Neighborhood Services located at 300 West 21st Avenue, Gary, Indiana, the landlord, and Northwest Indiana Health Department Cooperative Tobacco Prevention Program. The lease is approximately 210 square feet of space on the main floor. Tenant would pay $700 per month for 9 months. The agreement is for a total of $6,300 to the Gary Neighborhood Services. I move that we approve the approval of the amendment of extended office lease with the Gary Health Department.
Second, any questions? I actually have a question. This is out of order. I think, I'm a little bit confused. Oh, I think I understand what's going on. So, I think that the issue is, and we may want to send this back for clarification. I think this cover sheet, because I did the calculation, the $6,300 original lease was for 9 months. That would have been from October 1st of 2017 through June 30th of 2018. If this is extending it from July 1st, I think this means July 1st, 2018, not 17. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
I think this cover sheet should say 18, and that we need another QC40 for 2,100 because this original QC40 is just for 6,300.
Well, I'm still confused because I know that they're extending their lease with the Gary Health Department from July 1st to September 30, 2017.
It should be 18.
But, well, they moved to GNS. And that's why all of the information that you have attached is not the Gary Health Department, it's GNS.
Yeah, the tobacco prevention moved to the GNS.
So I'm not sure why GNS is attached to this. It should only be the Gary Health Department for the 3 months.
So you're saying, so one issue is that this has 17 in error on the front, it should be 18.
Well,
For July through September, it should be
I think this is
extending it through 18 because it was already a 9-month lease, so it's making it 3 additional months. But
for
you're saying the
17,
location.
for 17, because it should have ended in July of 17, but they extended it 3 months in 17, then they moved to GNS.
Well, no, this would have been 3 months prior to it even starting. If it started in October,
Right.
this would have been 3 months preceding.
But this is
So that's why I
October.
thought it was
It says
saying
October.
18.
October 2017.
Right, so July through September of 17 would have been prior to October.
Right, so they extended the contract for 3 months at the Gary Health Department until they moved into GNS in October of 17.
Okay, so this is 17.
Yes, it's
So
just
this
that
is really ratifying where they were in 17 prior to the move.
we just don't need GNS because they're not part of the cities.
So we need the QC 40 for the 2100, and we need the lease with the health department.
Yes.
And the prevention is paying the health department this month.
Yes.
Okay, so the date is actually 17, but so I think we should defer it because I think we don't have the appropriate document.
Move to defer.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Next, we have correspondence from the Department of Redevelopment.
This document is from the Indiana Department of Transportation for a local public agency agreement. And it is for new signal installation at intersection of 15th Avenue and Martin Luther King Drive, multiple intersections and one rail crossing. It indicates that the date of the bids are to be open for the construction contract will be July 1st, 2021, and June 30, 2022. The amount of the contract is $876,800, and 80% will be paid by NDOT, and 20% will be paid by the city. Is this readable?
David is here. Does he have
Yes.
any questions?
Okay, so before I go on, because I know all of these are similar, there is no funding source to say how the city's percentages are going to be paid.
That one is coming out of the tip over there.
Okay, so they need to send us a funding source.
Okay.
The next contract is also for Indiana Department of Transportation local public agency. And this agreement, date bids will be open for construction contracts July 1st, 2018 to June 30, 2019. This project is for regulatory and warning sign replacements citywide in the city of Gary and Lake County. The amount of the contract is $511,000. $943.00. 90% will be paid by NDOT and 10% will be paid by the city of Gary. Again, we need the funding source for this project. This contract, the third one is Indiana Department of Transportation. The contracts for the bids will be open on July 1st, 2020 to June 30, 2021. This project is for a bike and pedestrian facility for the Gary Green Links Trail Phase 3 in the city of Gary, Indiana. The total for the project is $1,020,000, of which 80% is paid by NDOT and 20% paid by the city of Gary. Madam President, I move that we defer passing these contracts until we receive the funding source for the city's percentage.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have correspondence from the Gary,
She had to do the recommendation to transfer property.
oh, I'm sorry, we're still on redevelopment recommendation to transfer property.
This memo is to the Board of Public Works and Safety from Jack Eskin, Deputy Director of Redevelopment. The City of Gary Redevelopment Department hereby recommends that the City of Gary transfers parcels of real estate commonly known as 372 Harrison Street. We have attached the following: a resolution for transfer of the property to the City of Gary Redevelopment Commission, the original copy of the deed, a copy of the real property maintenance report, and this property will be utilized to stabilize neighborhoods in the City of Gary. We have also resolution number 2018-6, which is a joint resolution of the City of Gary Board of Public Works and Safety regarding the transfer of the real estate property from the City of Gary to the Gary Redevelopment Commission. This transfer shall be made for a price of $0. The quitclaim deed is attached for 372 Harrison Street. The sale disclosure form. And also a real property maintenance report indicating that the property is exempt. It also indicates that the owner is the City of Gary. I move that we approve the transfer of the property at 372 Harrison Street from the City of Gary to Department of Redevelopment.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have correspondence from the Gary Civil Service, I assume this is Police Commission.
This memo is to Clotilda Board, Public Works Director, from Stephen Jenkins, Assistant City Attorney, contract with Sonia Scott Dix. The Law Department has reviewed the enclosed contract with Sonia Scott Dix to serve as the hearing officer for the Gary Civil Service Police Commission. The terms of the contract is from January 1st to December 31st, 2018. Contractor shall be paid an amount not to exceed $1,500. The contract is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the City of Gary. Scope of services: contract agrees to provide hearing officer services for the Gary Police Civil Service Commission. And for satisfactory performance, the contractor shall be paid $500 per case not to exceed $1,500. I move that we approve the contract for Sonia Scott Dix.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next contract is for Derek Julks. The Law Department has reviewed the enclosed contract with Derek Julks to serve as the hearing officer for the Gary Civil Service Police Commission. The terms of the contract are from January 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2018. Contractor shall be paid an amount not to exceed $1,500. The contract is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the City of Gary. Scope of services: contract agrees to provide hearing officer services for the Gary Police Civil Service Commission. For satisfactory performance, the contractor shall be paid $500 per case not to exceed $1,500. I move that we approve the contract for Derek Julks.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next contract is for Daryl Jones. The Law Department has reviewed and closed contract with Darrell Jones to serve as a hearing officer of for the Gary Civil Service Police Commission. The terms of the contract are from January 1st to December 31st, 2018. Contract shall be paid an amount not to exceed $1,500. The contract is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the City of Gary. Scope of services, contract agrees to provide hearing officers services for the Gary Police Civil Service Commission. Contractor shall be paid an amount not to exceed $1,500 at $500 per case. I move that we approve the contract with Darrell Jones.
Second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
And motion carries.
The next contract is with Kerry Castro. The Law Department has reviewed the contract with Kerry Castro to serve as a hearing officer for the Gary Civil Service Police Commission. The terms of the contract are from January 1 through December 31st, 2018. Contractor shall be paid an amount not to exceed $1,500. The contract is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the City of Gary. Scope of services, contract agrees to provide hearing officer services for the Gary Police Civil Service Commission. And the contractor for satisfactory performance shall be paid $500 per case, not to exceed $1,500. I move that we approve the contract for Kerry Castro.
Second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next contract is for Renzo Williams III. The Law Department has reviewed the enclosed contract with Renzo Williams to serve as the legal counsel for the Gary Civil Service Police Commission. The terms of the contract are from January 1, 2018 to December 31, 2018. Contractor shall be paid an amount not to exceed $5,000. The contract is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the City of Gary. Scope of services, contractor shall act as legal counsel for the commission and shall perform the duties of legal counsel on special projects for the commission. For satisfactory performance, the contractor shall be paid $150 per hour, not to exceed $5,000, and payment shall be made on a monthly or bi-weekly basis. I move that we approve the contract for Renzo Williams contingent upon the contract having police commission added. The others had it, the police commission, this just says commission.
Second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. What was the last one?
Renzo Williams was the one that I just read.
Oh,
without
that's the
commission.
one that needs to add.
Uh-huh. The next contract is for Praetorian Consulting Group. The Law Department has reviewed the enclosed contract with Praetorian Consulting Group to serve as a testing company for new recruits for the Gary Police Civil Service Commission. The terms of the contract are from January 8th through December 31st, 2018. Contractor shall be paid an amount not to exceed $1,200. The contract is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the City of Gary. Scope of services, contractors to serve as a testing company for new recruits for the Gary Police Civil Service Commission as outlined in Exhibit 3. And for satisfactory performance shall be paid an amount not to exceed $1,200. I move that we approve the contract for Praetorian Consulting Group.
Second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, we have correspondence from the Public Works Department.
This contract is for L&M Rental and Renovations. The Law Department has reviewed the enclosed contract with L&M Rental and Renovations to provide snow removal services to the City of Gary for 2018 winter season. The terms of the contract is from January 22nd, 2018 to April 1st, 2018. Contractors shall be paid an amount not to exceed $10,000. The contract is in proper legal form and is sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the City of Gary. There are several contracts for snow removal, and they include Avery Lawrence, and so also at $10,000 for the same period of time. TLC Services for the same period of time for $10,000 for snow removal.
That's all of them.
It was just two?
It was
Three?
Yep.
Okay.
What's the third one?
Ellen, Avery, and TLC.
Ellen.
I move that we approve, and all of them are the scope of services, agrees to provide the necessary labor and equipment necessary for snow removal, snow cleanup, and snow hauling to the city for the season of 2018. Snow removal services shall be provided according to the following terms and conditions, which are the storm center locations and telephone numbers, hours of work, city snow routes, vehicle inspections, and plowing operations. I move that we approve the snow removal contracts for Ellen and Rental and Renovations, Avery Lawrence, and TLC Services.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next contract is for Glenn, which is the Great Lakes Electrical Management, to install electrical equipment for 900 Madison Street, Gary, Indiana 46402. The terms of the contract for February 18 and shall expire upon completion of the work. Contractor shall be paid an amount not to exceed $5,560. Bidding information is attached. The contract is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the city of Gary. We did open the quotes 2 weeks ago, and this was the lowest quote for the Great Lakes Electrical.
None of the funding sources were signed, so we might have to defer
I sent
this.
them all.
Oh.
Contract agrees to furnish labor, material, and equipment for the installation of 12 receptacles at different work locations, 2x4 LED light fixtures in the tire shop, electrically connecting 3 car lifts, as well as labeling 3 electrical panels complete with panel schedules. Work is to be performed at 900 Madison Street. I move that we approve the contract for Glenn and for work to be done at 900 Madison Street, Gary, Indiana.
Second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next contract is for Glass City, and it is to replace the handicap doors at the Metro Center and Police Department. The terms of the contract are for February 18, 2018, and shall expire upon completion of the work. Contractor shall be paid an amount not to exceed $4,001 to $2.42. Bidding information is attached. The contract is in proper legal form and is sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the city of Gary. That bid information is attached, and Glass City was the lowest. I move that we approve the agreement between the City of Gary and Glass City for doors to be installed at Metro Center and Police Department.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The law department has reviewed the enclosed contract with Reliable Carpet Cleaning to clean the carpets at City Hall. The terms of the contract are from February 18, 2018, and shall expire upon the completion of the work. Contractor shall be paid an amount not to exceed $2,096. Bidding information is attached. This contract is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the city of Gary. The bid information is attached, and Reliable Carpet Cleaning was the lowest. The scope of services are pursuant to Exhibit 2, and Exhibit 2 is attached under the invoice estimate. It includes cleaning on the basement rooms, first floor, second floor, council office, and the third floor. I move that we approve the contract with Reliable Carpet Cleaning.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, we have a contract for, a request. And this is to the Board of Public Works and Safety from David Schilling, Robinson Engineering, It is regarding Elam Group monitoring well installation request number 2, Glen Park Dry Cleaners. A request has been received for the drilling and placement of a monitoring well within the right-of-way at 5 locations in Glen Park neighborhood. On December 20, 2017, the board previously approved Elam to complete such work. Their test results show the need for additional testing at the following locations: 37th Avenue at Louisiana Street, 36th Place at Louisiana Street, 36th Avenue at Louisiana Street, 35th Place at Louisiana Street, 35th Court at Louisiana Street, at 35th Avenue at Louisiana Street. The wells will be located in parkway areas. The wells are being installed to monitor potential groundwater contamination from Glen Park Laundry and Dry Cleaners as part of IDM's voluntary remediation program. At this time, they are planning to complete this work Thursday, February 15th, and Friday, February 16th. Attached are the locations for the monitoring wells to be installed. I move that we ratify the request from Elam Group Monitoring.
Second, any question? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
The next request is for Erickson's Rigging Transport for an oversized load permit. Requests were received for Erickson's to move an oversized load on city streets Ridge Road from Broadway to Grant Street. They will be performing the move on the morning of February 22nd, 2018. Erickson's has provided a copy of their approval, NDOT and Lake County Highway Department permits, which are attached. If this meets your approval, it's recommended granting Erickson an oversized load permit. It indicates that from Erickson Incorporated, they are requesting a permit for the movement of one electrical transformer for NIPSCO. I move that we approve the request for Erickson Riggs.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, we have a contract with Robinson Engineer for professional services. The law department has drafted the attached contract between Robinson Engineer for general engineering services for the city. Under the contract, Robinson will pay an amount not to exceed $150,000 for their services, and the terms of the contract shall be from January 1st through December 31st, 2018. This contract is in proper legal form and sufficient to adequately protect the interests of the city of Gary. Scope of services: contractor agrees to provide engineering consulting services as described herein. Such services shall include consulting on design engineering and contract preparation for various 2016 street resurfacing projects. The scope of services for the contractor is marked in Exhibit C.
No, that's right.
Madam President, I move that we approve the contract between the City of Gary and Robinson Engineering, contingent upon Exhibit C being attached.
Second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. C.
Yes.
All right. Is there any unfinished or new business today? We're open for public comment, 2 minutes per person, agenda topics only.
Yeah, good morning,
But
everybody. I
anyone
wish
can speak.
guys would
I'm
speak
sorry.
up so we could hear you.
Okay. Sir, can you wait to be acknowledged? I'm sorry, I was still talking when you started, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I wish you'd speak up so we could hear what you're saying,
Oh, I'm
because you're
sorry.
mumbling. I'm sorry about that, but I'm sitting close and I got excellent hearing. Second thing is, this is deceptive when it says casino, local agreement. This could involve millions of dollars. Now, this is garbage for an agenda. Local agreement, you're talking about negotiating or redevelopment thing. Now, you should, this is deceptive. Third thing, redevelopment should be abolished. Number one, it's a tear-down department, and I got freedom of information stuff that they've entered into agreements for a landfill with Jupiter, and hotels in Marquette Park with Meridian, Redevelopment Commission, and the mayors brain is so full of bad and evil anti-citizen thoughts that they have room for nothing else. And you guys are part of it too. And the thing is, this city looks like horrible. Now, we get $4.7 million in local income tax for the local option income tax. Some of it's law enforcement, some of it's discretionary. But for the money, the hundreds of millions of dollars that's pumped into this city, what in the world do we have to show for it except destruction and death in a whole lot of high-paid people at the top of the apex? And it's very disgusting to me, living here all my life, and my family settled this city 100 years ago, to see the rotten, miserable shape it's in, and we continue to lose thousands of people every decade. Now, somebody's got to take responsibility for it. People have left this city because it's an unlivable place. It's not a good place for children. The state put the whole school system under a contractor. You know how radical that is? It's saying you're incompetent to even raise and educate your own kids, neglect of the dependent. That's what we're under right now. And we're going the same route with this stuff that we're doing now. I see no improvement in the last 45 years of nothing around here. Not a doggone thing's improved, except certain people are making a whole lot of money. Improvement in people's living standards at the top. And I'm not accusing anybody here of being malicious, but I'm saying mismanagement, negligence, nepotism, and neglect of the public good is a rule of the day in Gary, Indiana. And it has been, and it shows. Look at your roads, look at your abandonment. Nothing has been done right, period.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Good morning,
Good morning.
board members. My name is Jim Nowacki. I live in the 2nd District. And looking at the agenda today, under correspondence from the mayor's office, something identified as local agreement, we find now that this local agreement is a new agreement with the Majestic Star Casinos, and apparently a very sweeping agreement, redoing the agreements going all the way back to '96. I would suggest that now, with 23 years of experience with the boats, they've been here now 23 years, we should take a careful look at what the relative benefit or merit was of having the casino boats here. A lot of promises were made by Donald Trump, then gambling czar, now President of the United States, and Don Barton, now deceased, to our city. None of those promises have been kept. We find that the agreement that was signed in '96 was largely ignored, and the benefits that were promised to our city, rather than being fulfilled, we see a city that's declined considerably in the last 23 years. We've lost 40,000 in population, according to the census, over 40,000. The condition of our city, the condition of the local businesses, considerably depreciated for that time. And now we're looking at a sweeping new agreement, but no one has any idea what that agreement was. If it's going to be worse than the previous agreement, it's going to be pretty bad over the next several years. It seems that, number one, the Board of Public Works and Safety could have identified that agenda item a little more clearly than rather just calling it a local agreement, saying this is going to be a sweeping new agreement with the casino boats, and give the public some opportunity to comment, not after the meeting, but before the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
You know, in the past year or so, in Chicago, they privatized their ambulance service. They were in the process of getting rid of their ambulance. I was seeing here that we are looking for 2 new ambulances. Over there on Columbus Avenue in that fire station, there's several ambulances there. It would be in the, in the best interest of the fire department to go and make an agreement with the fire department of East Chicago.
Thank you. Anyone else? No? Seeing none, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Madam Chair, could I ask, are you able to expand any upon the agreement, LDA agreement, the new one?
I will. Just for the public's information, the reason that it was put on here as local agreement, because that's the actual name of the agreement, it's local agreement. And that's why the Public Works Department put it on there. And in the memo to the department, it explained that the local agreement is with Majestic Star Casino. The terms as it relates to the amount of funds that the city receives from the casino has not changed in the new agreement. So it's the same.
And basically, I think one of the changes was to take all the previous agreements that no longer apply and take them out and have one agreement.
Correct. Because previously, over the years, there's been, a number of different agreements, and sometimes certain portions, you had to read all 6 to 8 different agreements to make sense of it. And so, because there were the 2 recent agreements in 2011, prior to this administration, but 2013 was the last amendment, and that was during the time that the city settled the litigation with Majestic and received our funds for alleged breach of contract back. So since then, we were operating under that amended term sheet, if you will. So it was just time to consolidate those amendments to an actual one document versus reading the prior old documents with an amendment, which makes things complicated. It's easier when you can just look to one document as to what your agreement is with.
Can I ask how extensive is the new document? How thick is it?
It's not that thick.
I can get a copy of it from Freedom of Information?
Yes, once it's finalized, once it's signed by all the parties, yes.
All right, can I request that today?
Yes, you can.
All right, thank you.
But you'll receive it after, it's been fully executed. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right,
Move to adjourn.
meeting adjourned, thank you.